Why? Why did you do it? You see, that's all I've been hearing ever since I delivered the nut shot heard round the world to Matt Hardy at MCW's Tribute to the Legend show. You know, I've heard some people say that I just went postal because I lost my job on the WWE creative team due to budget cuts. Well, that's an interesting theory, going postal. You know, my dad was a postal worker, so I don't know, maybe that kind of thing runs in the family. But then again, I was adopted, so that's probably not it. No, it's really quite simple why I did what I did. See, it all started with a phone call that I received from my longtime close personal friend, MCW owner Dan McDevitt. So Dan asked me to come on down to the Tribute to the Legend show and said that he'd love to have me back in the fold at MCW in an official capacity. Well, given my resume in the industry, and for those of you who don't know, I've worked for both WWE and WCW behind the scenes with the biggest superstars and the most powerful executives in the business. So naturally, I assumed Dan wanted me to take over the creative direction of MCW, try to arouse some interest in his flaccid little indie promotion. But apparently I was giving Dan too much credit. You see, when I showed up to the Joppa Flea Market, not supposed to say flea market, when I showed up to the MCW arena that night, Dan didn't hand me the book. He handed me a referee shirt. See, apparently when he said he wanted me back in an official capacity, he meant it literally. Well, let me paint a little picture for you. See, it was just a little over 2 months ago that I was sitting in the booking room in Titan Towers in beautiful Stamford, Connecticut, alongside Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Paul Levesque. That's Triple H to all of you. And we were booking Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and SummerSlam, okay? So when some little indie promoter asked me to soil my hands and be a lowly referee on his flea market show, well, that's a slap in the face to a man of my stature. But you know, I learned a lot of life lessons from Vince. And yeah, we're on a first-name basis. And one of those lessons was how to work people. How to tell them whatever they want to hear, gain their trust, and then screw them over. So I told Dan, of course I'd love to be an MCW referee again. It would be an honor. So I went into the ring that night and I cut a heartfelt promo about how great it was to be home. And all of you MCW marks bought it hook, line, and sinker. Now what I didn't expect was that some little no-name J-Brone wannabe was going to come in the ring and interrupt me, demanding that I put him in a match. But of course I used that opportunity to demonstrate my creative acumen, my ability to think on my feet. So right there on the fly, I booked a body slam challenge. And to no one's surprise, it turned out to be the most entertaining segment on the show. You're welcome. You see, I was just doing what I've done in WWE for the past 3 years, and that's put smiles on people's faces. But you see, while all of you toothless, gingivitis-infected humanoids were smiling, I was plotting. See, I knew that at some point, whether it was later that night or next week or even next year, I knew at some point the opportunity was going to arise for me to show everyone in MCW what happens when Kevin Eck is disrespected. The opportunity presented itself that night during the main event between the MCW Heavyweight Champion Matt Hardy and Drolix. You see, MCW slapped me in the face, and I responded by hitting their precious MCW champion, Matt Hardy, right in the grapefruits. Although in Matt's case, it's more like grapes. Regardless, you could just call him an ex-champion now. But look, let me make this clear. I have nothing personal against Matt Hardy. Now, Matt's simply in the wrong place at the right time. But for the life of me, I can't understand why you people are so enamored with him. I mean, sure, he was one of the architects of the TLC match, but let's be honest, that was a long time ago. I mean, TLC matches are passé. So you're looking at the architect of the WeLC match. That's right, the match between El Torito and Hornswoggle that tore down the house and stole the show at Extreme Rules. See, that was my idea. I'm a creative genius. And I'm going to show Dan McDevitt and all of you marks in MCW just how much of a creative genius I really am. See, I've acquired a manager's license through the Maryland State Athletic Commission. And I'm going to look for the most bland, boring, vanilla wrestler in MCW. And trust me, there's a whole locker room full of them to choose from. And I'm going to transform him into the most entertaining, most successful superstar in the company. Just like I did in WWE for a certain undersized, goat-faced indie darling. Yes. 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 Yes, I did. You see, to become a superstar in this business, you just need to have the X factor. And once I've selected the lucky individual in MCW who will benefit from my brilliance, I'm not even going to take the standard 10% of my client's earnings. No. Because I'm a hell of a guy, I'm going to make him a superstar for the low, low price of just $9.99. Because I'm Kevin Eck, creative genius, maker of superstars. Now that's Eck-tertainment.